Hey, everybody, this is Sorry I Didn't Come With a Filter podcast. Yo, boy, Vasilis. Happy Monday. It is what the fuck Monday. What happened this past weekend was beyond my recollection of any shit, so that was insane. I know I won money, though. I know I won the money, so I'm alright with that. I'm good with that shit. Alright, let's see what happened here. I'm just gotta kind of go through a lot of things here. Hold on. Let's go back to the scores here. So, I've been saying it. It's now playoff implications coming. Playoff implications. So, anybody who doesn't really think of that, it happened. So, I was right about the Falcons beating the Jaguars. I was really, thought the Jets were going to lose to the Texans, but the Texans lose. This was the one I'm going to talk about the Patriots and Titans soon here. Eagles fell to the Giants, which was a bit of a surprise. The Bengals and the Steelers I will talk about. Colts and Buccaneers I will talk about. The Panthers lost to the Dolphins, so I'll get into that too. It's just, it was a really hard thing to come by when you really want to look down to it. The Titans and Patriots game was the one that everybody was watching because of the Bills beat the Saints on Thursday, but who was going to, was the Titans going to beat the Patriots? I didn't think so. It was the Bill Belichick show again. And don't get me wrong, Belichick is one of those GOAT coaches forever. He's the only reason why he's where he is right now is because that's how smart he is. He's learned from the best of the best. He's learned from the best coaches in NFL history and shit like that. So, kudos to him. Kudos to him. Plus, he has the unbelievable, streak of how he beats people. It's just he's such a mathematical coach. He's very simple on what he does and how he gets his team to perform. So, that was a big implication game. Cincinnati beat up on the Steelers. I can see Cincinnati going into the playoffs. That's Joe Burrow and all them. They're really shining. You got Chase, you got Mix in there. They're just, they lost a few, and now they're starting to pick up. They're going right where it's supposed to be. So that's a good thing going on. Moving down, you got the Buccaneers and the Colts. I had a funny feeling the Buccaneers, again, you can't bet against Brady, even though Brady is Brady. And he's one hell of a good quarterback. People always ask me why I call him the GOAT still. And I was like, well, he's been given that moniker because of what he can do. What he does out on that field is unbelievable. At the age of what he's doing it, too. The guy, he's just unstoppable. He's unparalleled to what everybody else expects. So, and again, Gronk coming back from all the injuries, lit it up again too. They're all doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's fantastic for that end. Again, I wasn't too surprised. Dolphins, I was surprised with the Panthers. Cam Newton, again, one game he wins and then he loses two. But that's not Cam's fault, he was out for most of the season this year, so it's been a hard play on him. The Chargers and the Broncos are still fighting it out right now, still fighting it out for their spots. Vikings lost to the 49ers. That was a surprise to me. Now I'm gonna get down to another big playoff implication. You had the Rams versus the Packers. So now the Rams have lost 3 straight, and something's got to give with those, because now you got the playoffs. You know, this was week 12. Week 12. We're now going into the latter half. You know, you only got 5 more weeks to go. It's really coming down to crunch time. Ravens did what Ravens do, beat up on the Browns. And now we got the Monday Nighter with Washington and Seattle. I'm going to say Seattle wins just because it's Seattle. They're pretty good on Monday nights. So I'm going to check out Week 13. You know, you got the Cowboys Saints. It's starting to look like it's starting to pay up. Oh, next this December 6th, the Monday Nighter, Buffalo versus Patriots. This is the Bills versus Patriots. This is where really I've been saying playoff implications started this past weekend. Now it really pushes into high gear. So who is going to make the playoffs? I can probably go over that right now. You know, 4 in a row for the Dolphins in the AFC East. This is a pretty big if. Like my dad always said, if my yaya had balls, which it means if my grandma had balls, they'd call her papu, which means grandpa. Well, I don't think my grandfather would have been happy if my grandma had balls. That's all I can say on that end. Because my grandfather, if anybody knew my grandfather, that man would have had some serious problems with that. So, but if the Dolphins keep winning and Buffalo slips, we could see a swap. And the Patriots are on a 6-game winning streak. So the Patriots, they're going back to where they're supposed to be. Steelers have lost 3 in a row, so that's not, again, it's in the AFC North. You're going to look, you have Cincinnati and Baltimore up at the top. To me, Baltimore is the team to beat in the AFC North, but to be real sneaky about it, I'd say the Bengals might just, edge them out a little. The AFC South, again, like I've said on all my previous podcasts, the AFC South is, like, all the teams are pretty much in a losing streak. You got Jaguars in a 3-game losing streak, which ain't no surprise. You have the Texans on a 1-game losing streak because they won one. Same as the Colts, won one. But the Titans are on a 2-game losing streak. So, that's not such a good thing to look at on that front. AFC West, the Chiefs are up at the top. And, again, you have 3 teams in the AFC West that are 6-5. And this is pretty much where a lot of playoff implications. I can see the Chiefs making it, the Titans, the Colts, Bengals, Ravens, Bills, and Patriots. Bills possibly, Patriots yes. But to look at some other teams that could be possibly, dark horses, I wouldn't put it past the Raiders and the Broncos because of just the way they're going to be probably going at it with a lot of other teams. Dolphins would be a surprise, a massive surprise, but again, they could probably have a tough record or a tough schedule coming up anyways. So the AFC East, Cowboys are running away with that one, but they're on a 2-game losing streak. Washington football team's on a 2-game winning streak, but again, they're only 4-6, so still, you have 5 weeks left. That they could go 9-6 or whatever. I can't really see that happening. Packers are in the top of the NFC North like usual. The Vikings, I can kind of hint at maybe possibly making the playoffs. Could be one of those wild card teams. just like the Eagles, possibly. I'm not even going to say anything about the Lions because they're 0-10-1. So, wow. Just start that entire losing streak right at the beginning of the season and just carry it on. And I feel absolutely bad for the Lions, like absolutely bad. And I cannot even explain how bad I feel for them. The Bears are the Bears. I'm not going to say much about them. But if I go and look at the NFC South, you got the Buccaneers at the top. You got the Falcons, you got the Saints, you got the Panthers. The AFC South is so much like the NFC West. You got all the teams pretty much in very strong contention of making the playoffs, to where, okay, you got Buccaneers. Say Buccaneers make it, they're in, okay? Eliminate that portion of that thought. But then you got to go look at the Falcons, you look at the Saints, you look at the Panthers. Any of those three teams can possibly just pull off a massive upset and run with it. And to me, the one I probably would say it would be the number 2 guy right now, and it would be the Falcons. They're just so... They're so sneaky and very methodical about how they can do and win games, and it's brilliance. Then I go look at the NFC West, which the Cardinals, the Rams are there. The 49ers are on a 3-game winning streak, so this, as I say, could possibly change a lot of what is looking to be in the NFC West. Again, you never know. Rams, they loaded up on so many weapons, on like Von Miller and Odell Beckham. It's just, sometimes when I say, you load up things, you just shouldn't load up on them. The playoff picture looks very unique this year. It will be. So that's my breakdown of that. Let's go over to the hockey. NHL, baby. Oh, let's see. Yesterday's games. Yeah, apparently the Islanders ones are all postponed. So the Wild beat up on the Lightning, right? Well, I'm not even going to go on that because I predicted Saturday's games, which was Kraken beat on the Panthers, Oilers beat the Knights, Canadiens beat the Penguins. Yeah, right now it just doesn't look too great on that behalf, but I gave you a brief what happened on the weekend on that. So, currently speaking, yes, my Canucks are at the bottom. 4-game losing streak. 14 points. So they're pretty much right now sitting right out of the playoffs. And they're, they're last place. But to look at it, okay, I'm going to eliminate the Oats out of this. Okay? So, teams that you would probably... like, the Sabres have fallen drastically in their NHL standings. They were doing really well, and now they're down to 6th, so, in the Atlantic. Sole possession, of course, the stupid Maple Leafs. The Panthers are up there, the Lightning are up there, the Red Wings are up there, and the Sabres are up there. So, in the Atlantic Division, Central Division pretty much looks what it would be. Wild, Blues, Jets, Avalanche. Right now, the Avalanche have a lot of injuries, but once they get healthy, they're just going to start steamrolling the hell out of everybody. In the Metropolitan Division, of course, you got the Capitals, the Hurricanes, the Rangers. The surprise teams, I would say, is the Blue Jackets. The Penguins, I'm really surprised at where they're sitting, but again, injuries have plagued them. And the Islanders are sitting at the bottom of the Metro. So that's like very, very upsetting to see that. When I look at the Pacific, of course, you got the Oilers, you got the Flames, you got the surprise team, the Ducks. Where are the Knights? In 4th position in that division. Again, it's an all-out brawl to the playoffs for the NHL, and it's not going to get any better. It's just going to get worse. To me, it's going to get worse. And that's how I see that fact. So the NBA games, coming today. Today's, I wouldn't necessarily put it past a lot of people. But I'm going to go over on some of my predictions for this. We do have Monday Night Raw. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm not even going to talk about pro wrestling probably until tomorrow. So let's go down here. Magic versus 76ers. I say the 76ers. Nuggets versus the Heat. I would say the Heat are heavily favored in this one. Thunder versus Rockets. I'll say Thunder. Pacers versus Timberwolves. I'll say the Timberwolves. Hornets versus Bulls. I would say Bulls. I would honestly say the Bulls. They've just been one of those hot teams lately. And it's just something that is going right for them. Wizards versus Spurs. The Wiz. Cavaliers versus the Mavericks. I say the Mavs. Trailblazers versus Jazz. That will be a pretty good game. I'll probably go with Dame Lillard and the Blazers over the Jazz. And Clippers over the Pelicans. I'm, again, not surprised on how some of these teams' standings are looking right now. Because in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks have started to pick up momentum. So they're starting to get where they're supposed to be. 76ers, I'm very surprised they're sitting at 10th or 11th place. But again, it's an early season. It's still pretty early, 20 games in. So anything can really change in that side of everything. You go to the West, you pretty much have what you have on your bottom half. Like you're 11th, you're from 11th to 15th, you have the teams that you expect to be there. The one, the Kings, not the Kings, the Nuggets, should be where, maybe say the Grizzlies are. I'm really shocked with the Lakers being where they are right now. But again, it's early in the season, and they'll all turn that all around. That's how I see it. But that's been What the Monday edition of Sports Recap Playoffs and all of the juice. I will talk to you guys all later tomorrow.